Hi, top of the day to you. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you enjoying the lockdown season? How's it been for you? It's an amazing day. I'm so excited to be here live today. It's been a long time I did a live streaming, and I just felt like this morning I need to share something with you, and I know this is going to be of great value to someone somewhere, and that is why I just decided I can't keep this to myself. Let me share it out this afternoon. So if you've joined me and you can hear me, say something. Okay, say something to me. Tell me where you're watching from, so I know someone is here and you're watching from so please. Okay, so if you've joined me and you can hear me, say something. So while I wait for a response, I'm going to share this into my community. I'm going to share this into my community right now. Please do share also to your friends. Just click on the share button right now and share it out to your friends. Okay, so give me a second. Let me just share it to my community. Bonita Creativity. Hi Lillian, can you hear me? If you can hear me, say something. Say something to me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Say something to me. I'm trying to see if I can just share this with my community. Just give me a second. If you can hear me, say something. Let me know you can hear me, okay? It's been a long time I did a live stream. As well. Please, if you can hear me, say something so I know my mic is okay and you can hear me. All right? So how has it been for you? Hi, Ndidi, sweetheart, how are you, sis? Okay, you can hear me. Amazing. Good to have you here. Please do share this to your community. Do share this on your timeline so that other people can see it and catch it live. So we're going to be sharing 4 things that you can do right now that can help you pull through this crisis without getting into crisis. Now, it's not a new gist that the world is experiencing, something we've never experienced before. Yes, it happened. I think the last time such thing happened was I think 105 years ago. Yeah, research says I think 105 years ago. I think I'm not so certain, but I think it's 105 years ago from what I saw some time ago. And this is new to us, you know, as far as you're less than 105 years, this is new. We've never experienced this before. And somehow we're forced to go into a lifestyle, adopt a lifestyle that we're not used to. We're forced to go into situations that we are not used to. And somehow we're forced to make changes and adopt the new changes and begin to live according to what we have right now. And today I want to share with you 4 things that you can do to help you pull through this crisis without getting into crisis. So if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Goodness Ben. I'm the founder of She's Much More Africa. And Goodness Ben, what I do, I simply help purpose-driven individuals, especially women. I help them to leverage their skills and expertise, and I help them to create impact, income, and influence using digital assets. And I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy to be in your living room. Yes. You know, live stream gives us videos, give us access to people. And I'm here to connect with you today. And I'm excited that we are here and we're doing this. So the first thing I want to share with you, especially to women, you know, we have family. And there was a day I made a post recently and I said, it seems this word, Mommy, I want to eat, is on auto replay in my house. And people were like, it's not only you. You know, there's so much we're spending on. There's so much we're doing. And one thing I want you to do for you to be able to pull through this crisis without getting into crisis, number 1 is I want you to tablet and know your figures. You know, this thing happened, I think that was last week. And my husband came up with this. And I was like, he just came into the room. And he just came into the room and flinged a paper to me and gave it to me. And I looked at it. It was all our expenses per week times 4 in a month. Wow. I was like, this is amazing. You know, having that figure, every damn thing we spend on, everything we spend on, you know, we have it on the paper that I understand that, oh, I'm spending this amount of money weekly, and therefore times 4, or sometimes when it's 5 weeks, we're going to spend this amount of money. You know, it gives you clarity. You know, it's dangerous for you to just stay and keep removing. And some people are also losing their jobs at this time. Some people's salary are not being paid at this time. And if you don't have your figures, you keep removing and nothing is coming in. Even when something is coming in, you can't predict how long this is going to last. You know, recently, I think it was 2 days ago, I saw a post by someone I value so much, John Obidi. Some of you might know him, and he was saying that it's likely, maybe just a guess or something, that this lockdown could get to August. And see that we're in April. So when I saw this, I was like, what? Oh God, it better not be true. You know, what if it gets to August? What if it gets to August? What you have can pull you through. But when you have your figures, you know that, oh, I have 200,000 in my account, for example, and oh, I know I spend 30,000 monthly in my family upkeep. So you know that 30,000 divided 200, you know how long it's going to last. You begin to make plans. What if this thing goes beyond my expectation? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What plans do I have? When you think it's ending in May and you're planning for May and it ends to go and it ends to May, you definitely run into crisis. That's the truth. Your plan is going to end in May and it didn't end in May, and somehow it has exceeded July, August. You run into crisis. So it's important that we, first of all, will know our figures. Don't just keep money and be taking it off, you know, keep removing, and that's it. Definitely, it's, you know, this is one of the things that could make you go into a situation where somehow you didn't plan. Ada Okoligo, thanks for joining me. I can see Sunday, I can see my friend Didi, I can see Ada Naji. If you've joined me, just tell me where you're watching me from. Blessing, thanks for joining me. So today we are sharing 4 things you can do that can help you pull through this crisis without getting into crisis. And number 1 thing I shared earlier, I said know your figures. Okay, know what you're spending on, how much you're spending. Then think of what you have already. What if the government doesn't pay, or what if you suddenly, because people are losing their jobs, what options do you have? What are you going to do? You need to know your figures, and because you know your figures, you can plan with what you have and think of what to do. And remember, when you know your figures, it will enable you to plan, okay, what if it goes beyond May, June, and it's somewhere down there? What am I going to do? So that's the first point. The second thing I want to share with you is this was something I experienced recently. Okay, it's not my experience, but I saw someone. You know, in this my estate, there's this place where people they sell food or they sell things. People go there. Oh, she said for me, thanks for joining me. See that? How are you, sis? It's been a while. So I was that place. That kind of shop is a shop. Is almost opposite my house. Then we're living at the last floor. So from my bedroom window, I can easily see people. I can easily hear what people are saying. So that place is a place where people gather often. And you have lots of people gathering there, talking. And sometimes you see mostly women who aren't working. You see them there talking and the rest of them. So during this lockdown, there's this woman I hold in high esteem. You know that people you see, you admire them. You'll be like, I like this woman. I like her pattern. And somehow, I saw her there. From morning till late in the evening, she was just talking, and this is out of her habits. But guess what? The lockdown is making her do what she wouldn't do normally. You know, on a normal day, she wouldn't want to be seen in their midst. But somehow, she's so bored. Somehow, you find yourself doing what naturally or normally you wouldn't want to do. Because you're feeling, oh my God, I can't cope anymore. And before you know it, habits begin to step in. And that's the second thing I want to share with you. Thank you, Lola. Thank you for joining me. How are you doing? Tell me where you're watching me from, sis. So the second thing I want to share with you is watch all those habits that are going to be stepping in. You know, things that, you've stopped doing before. This is the time they will come up again. You know, for young people, they might go back to pornography that they left before because they are bored. Because, there's nothing much to do. You know, every morning you are home, you eat, and probably there's no lights, and maybe your gen is not on, and you just feel, God, what do I do? And somehow you're going back to the things that you left. Somehow you're getting in habits that will end up, by the time the crisis is over, you find your life struggling. You find your life in crisis because within this period, you've gotten habits, things that naturally you wouldn't go into, things that naturally you won't be comfortable doing. But because you think you feel so relaxed, and somehow those things are coming into your mind, they're coming into your life. And these things can lead you into crisis. These things can affect your life even after the COVID season is over. And that's the second thing I want to share with you. And that is watching habits. Habits that will come in and cause your life to have a different turn from what you thought, from what you think you have. And that's the second thing that I want to share with you. Watch bad habits. And the third one I want to share with you is a little of the opposite. It's about losing what you already have. Before now, I had this, habit of how my routine kind of, routine, wake up, do my lessons or go through some courses that I want to go through or whatever program I want to go through early hours of the morning. Maybe around 6 o'clock, I'll go through my devotional before I now go and join the family prayers and the rest of them. But at this time and season, you feel you have all the time. And of course, you will sleep. Me, I'll just sleep and sleep and sleep. And when I wake up, the kids are already awake, and people like JD will just come in, Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I'm hungry. And the next thing, I've left everything I ought to do, my routine, things that has kept me working and working hard. You get to abandon them because you feel more relaxed. You begin to lose those things these are the things that has helped you. You're building a brand. And of course, you have your plans. You know how you're moving with yours. These are the systems that you take, or you do this, you do that, and you do that. And somehow, you think you have all the time. You think, at least now I'm at home. I have the time. Sincerely speaking, there are people who are going through this process, and you find out that things you thought you were going to do when you have the time, you find out you're not doing them. You find out that you aren't doing them. That's the truth. Although you have all the time, you are home. So that's the third thing I want to share with you. I don't know if I'm making sense. Babatunde David, thank you, sir, for joining me. Adora, thank you for joining me. It's been a while. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me, sis. Thank you for joining me. Tell me where you're watching me from, okay? Please do click on the share button so other people can also view this. So the third thing I've also shared with you is be careful so you don't lose the habits and lose your routines or activities that has kept you going all this time. Because at this time, it's easy for lassity to step in. It's easy for you to feel relaxed and lose your guard, And that's the third thing I want to share with you. And the fourth thing I want to share with you is this. This is the best time to increase your capacity. This is the best time to work on your brand. For like 3 weeks now, I took a break out of Instagram, social media generally. Not because I just decided to go off and put things together. This is the best time to build your system, whatever product you have, and you don't have a system for it, a sales system for it, or whatever system that you need to put in place. This is the best time to go and learn. This is the best time to invest in learning. This is the best time to begin to grow your brand, to begin to invest in your brand. This is the best time to begin to grow your capacity. Sweetheart, the truth is this. You see this COVID season? This thing is going to pass. And somehow we're going to be missing this period. I said this thing to someone. She was like, oh, God forbid. How am I going to miss this? I said, yes. You're going to miss being at home and having all the time in the world. By the time the whole bustling and hustling starts, you're going to miss this time when you were relaxed at home and you're comfortable. You're going to miss this time when you had little or nothing bugging you except all the fear of survival. You're going to miss this day. And the only thing that can stay with you is the lessons you've learned and the knowledge you've gained. These are the two things that will remain with you. By the time this season is gone, the two things that will remain with you is one, the lessons you learned from it, and two, what you gained, the knowledge you gained from it. So what are you doing? Are you building your capacity? Are you building your capacity? There's so many courses, so many institutions now that unleashed courses. When I mean unleashed, I'm like, give out free courses with certifications. I don't know if you want a link, maybe you can just comment so that I can drop a link to one of the courses, one of the I think what's the name again now? There's one I enrolled into. I can share. They have like Coursera, yeah. Coursera have like 100 courses. I think is it 100? I think it's up to 100. Yeah, 100 courses that they made free. These are courses with certifications. This is the best time to build your capacity. The best time to build your capacity. Don't take it for granted. Don't think you have all the time. It's going to end and life is going to go back to supposedly normal, but nothing is going to be normal. And for you to adapt, for you to get yourself to adapt and for you to get yourself running when the whole crisis is over. You need to build a new capacity. You can't come in with the old capacity and fit in, because the world is evolving. This is going to evolve the world. This is going to evolve systems, how things are done. It's going to evolve how everything is working. And if you can't fit in, you can't get in. That's the truth. That's the truth. You know, lots of things are going to happen by the end of this whole crisis. People are going to find it hard to fit in again. But it's the new skills that you've gained, it's the new knowledge that you have gotten, is the capacity that you have built that will help you pull through. And these are the 4 things that I said, let me share with you today about how to go through this crisis without ending up in crisis. And the first thing I shared with you, I said, know your numbers. Okay, what you're spending on, know your numbers. What are you spending on as someone who has a family? What are you spending on as a single man, a single lady, a young man? What are you spending on? Okay, what are you spending on? Hi, Ola, thanks for joining. Oh, you're watching from Egypt. That's amazing. Hi, Mr. I. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? How's your family? How is your family? Thanks for joining me. Where are you watching me from, Mr. Ike? Where are you watching us from? Okay, so earlier I shared first. I said, first of all, you need to know your numbers. Know your numbers. What are you spending on? What are you spending on? What is it going to take care of your family for a whole week, for a whole month? Make plans. What if this doesn't end in May? What if it doesn't end in May? What if there's a probability we don't have a breakthrough yet? So what if it doesn't end in May? What if it gets to August? What you have, is it enough? What are you going to do? Know your numbers. You can't plan without your numbers. Know your numbers. Number 2. Number 3, I shared with you, I said be careful so you don't begin to get into habits that will cause you crisis. Habits that will cause you crisis even at the end of the crisis. Be careful about habits that are coming in. You know, they always say, there's this saying that what's it called now? And I do mind, yes, and I do mind is devil's workshop. It looks like this is a quote that is everywhere, but it happens in our life, and this is the worst season. This is the worst season. So the second thing I shared with us, I said ensure that you don't let this habit creep in. And the third thing I said, don't lose your value. Don't lose your value. Don't lose those things that you've already gained. Those things that is actually helping you run yourself, run your brand. Those values that has helped you to stand up. Is it reading books? Do you have the habit of reading a certain number of books or a certain number of things? Please don't let those habits go away. Don't let them go away. Don't let those values run away because you think, you feel relaxed and you've let your guards down. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. Hi, Jamie. James, how are you? It's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. Victor, thanks for joining me. We're almost done. Thanks for joining me, but you're going to catch a replay. And if you're watching the replay, just say something. Let me know you got value. If you got value, don't forget to share this. Don't forget to share this live stream. And the last one I shared with you, I said ensure that you increase your capacity. Ensure that you increase your capacity at this time. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad that you were here, and I hope you got value. Just give me feedback if you got value. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Stay safe. Do all it takes to stay safe. Take care. Bye.